While I'm in Canada, what I really wanted to do is to test drive the pinnacle of all electric vehicles, and that would be the Tesla Model X, which is what I have here today. This is the Tesla Model X long range version, which actually gives you a range of 580 kilometers on a full charge. But can you actually get 580 kilometers on a full charge? Well, I drove from Vancouver to Squamish, which is where I am right now, and it's about 120 kilometers. And let me show you the data.
Hey Tom Ping, love what you're doing on your channel, buddy. Super congrats. You know, giving your time and energy to nonprofit business channel. Look, man, keep driving that audience. So Tom Ping, look forward to spending some time with you. I know you got the right mindset, so I'd love for you to share some of that from the big V. God bless, be great. 10X.
And right now we're connected to the Tesla supercharger, and one of the benefits of having a Tesla is that the Tesla supercharging network is everywhere. And right now, as you can see, we're charging at about 50 kilowatt, and at its peak it was doing about 100. And because we're close to finishing our charge, we're now at 92%, so it's slowing down a little bit. Actually, the charging is very, very fast. I was able to bring the car from 59% to right now 93% in about 30 minutes or so. So the supercharging really charges fast at the Tesla station. Since last charge, I traveled 124 kilometers, depleted my battery from about 91% to 59%. So if you extrapolate the data, this will give me a range of about 400 kilometers on a full charge. And of course, this is if you drive like me, if you drive like Tom Ping. Of course, we're driving not in the chill mode, not in the sport mode, we're driving in the insane mode. And let me tell you, it is really insane. The acceleration of this vehicle is insane. And there's also a drag strip mode, which allows you to launch the car. And if you do that, you can launch this car from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in about 3.6 seconds. I haven't tried that, and I don't plan to, because insane mode is frankly fast enough for me. And this is an SUV, so you get the performance of like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a McLaren in an SUV, and that is pretty amazing. I finished charging the Tesla up to 100%, so I decided to take the car to somewhere more scenic to complete rest of the review. And here we are at Porto Cove in British Columbia, and it is a beautiful sunny day here, but it is kind of chilly and cold. So let's quickly look at the exterior of the Tesla Model X, and it looks like a very sleek car, but I do have to point out that the panel alignment is not very ideal. For example, you can see sometimes it's not properly lined up, and this is something that it's often complained about by Tesla owners, that these panels are not properly lined up. So you might hear some wind noises. So let's get inside the car so we can continue the review. So follow me, and let's get into the car. To get into the car, you press the button here. The door opens by itself. And then we get in. We press another button right here, and the door closes by itself. So let's look at the driving position. Right in front of me there is a display which is actually quite nice, and of course I get my steering yoke here, and there's also a big display right in front of me. And what I love about this display is that it uses Google Maps, and look at how responsive this is. I can spin the map around and it just responds to my input. I can also look at the map using satellite view, and look at, I can zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. It's just very responsive. Also, from here I can control all aspects of this car. For example, I can change the acceleration mode. I can change my suspension setting. I can look at my charging status. Of course, there's autopilot with this car. I can look at my trips, and I can update my software. Everything I need to do with this car, I can control through this display. Almost every function of this car is controlled through the display, including putting the car into drive. You do it like that. Or if you want to park the car, you do it like this. Or if you want to put it in reverse, you do it like that. Or if you want to put it into neutral, you click that. So right now I'm going to put the car into park. There's not a whole lot of buttons in the driving position. There's of course the signal lights, there's the lights, there's the horn, which can be easily pressed. So that's why many times I accidentally press the horn, which actually might be quite rude. Also, you can accidentally press this, and then of course the windshield tries to clean itself. When we get back on the road, I will tell you more about the handling, the driving experience. But first of all, let me tell you about some of the things I don't like about the Tesla. The first thing I don't like about the Tesla is this driving yoke. It is different. It's not like a normal car, and I just don't understand why car manufacturers have to innovate something that everybody is already accustomed to, because it's missing the top half of the driving wheel. So sometimes you try to grab it and it's not there. And also the signals. If you want to signal right, you press a button here, and if you want to signal left, you press a button here. Actually, it works pretty well unless you're turning. When you're turning, you have no idea where the buttons are. It takes some time to get used to. I don't really approve of this yoke. I much prefer a regular driving steering wheel. Apparently, you can get a normal steering wheel, but it's an option. You have to pay extra money to get a normal steering wheel. So I have to say, this yoke is what I really dislike about the Tesla. But other than that, there's many amazing things I want to tell you about the Tesla. So while we're inside, I want to show you the windshield. It's a bit different. If you look at the windshield and you look up, notice how high it goes. It goes up all the way here. It gives me really great visibility. And in Vietnam, this is what you have to do to check the light. You have to go like this. Did the light turn green yet? But with the Tesla, you don't have to do that. It's right there. You can see all the way up here, all right? I think it's a really nice feature to have if we're in Vietnam, but not so much here. But I think that's pretty cool. And one of the things I really like about Tesla is that they have really good mobile app and car integration. There are actually many things I can control the car with the app, but let me show you one cool thing we can do. May not be the most useful thing, but let me show you. So with the app in hand, I can actually open the doors like so. I can open the wing doors like so, and I can also open up the trunk. So I can't really think of a use case where that is actually useful, but you can actually control all of the doors on the Model X with the app. So what I like about the Tesla Model X interior is that it looks like a spaceship. Look at the seats. It looks like a seat from a spaceship. Now let's take a look at the second row. And there's actually a lot of room, a lot of leg room and a lot of headroom. Let me just close the wing door. And there's actually a lot of headroom right here. Let me close the wing door here. And in the second row, what kind of amenities do we have? Well, we have climate control here, and I can also control my music, my movies. Oh, actually I can get YouTube. Maybe we can watch some Tom Payne videos right here, okay? So, of course, the second row of passengers can be very entertained. Of course, you also get this in the front as well. In the second row, this is the view I get. And also, I get a sunroof, which is permanent sunroof. So in order to access the third row, what we have to do is we have to move the seat forward like so. And then there's a button that we can push here, which will bring the seat down. And now I can get into the third row like so, and the seat can come back down. Oh, I have to say the third row is very tight. I would not want to sit in the third row. It is not a very comfortable place to be. So the third row is really for children or maybe adults, but on very short trips. So I can confirm that the second row is actually very comfortable, and there's a lot of entertainment options I can choose from, including watching Tom Ping videos on the center console, and also there's a second console if I choose to watch something else here as well. And there's one more party trick that I want to show you. This Tesla Model X can actually dance. So let me show you how that works. First, you go to the toy box, and then you go to the light show, you schedule the show, you pick a song that you want, and then of course you can set your volume, and then you can start the show. And so now we exit the vehicle so we can get the show started. So it's like flying. It's like the Tesla is flying with its falcon door wings. So let's get on the road and let's talk about the driving experience of the Tesla Model X. So now we're on our way back to Vancouver from Port Cove. This is going to be an 80-kilometer ride, and I'll be able to give you my perception of the Model X driving experience. I love driving on this stretch of the road because on my right there's mountain and ocean. On my left there's a mountain and cliff, and it's absolutely beautiful, especially on a day like this. And the first thing to note is that this car accelerates hard. So if I just put the pedal down, it will go really fast. And the sun is in my eye. Oh shit. Ugh. Fuck. Oh man. Shit. Everybody slow down because the sun is in their eye. Holy shit. Fuck. Oh, my eye! Fuck you, son. The first thing that I noticed is that this car accelerates hard. If you put the pedal down, it will just go. It's so easy to actually go over the speed limit. You just press the pedal a little bit, and then you're doing like 130 in a 70. And then you don't feel it because the car is so stable. And you don't feel like you're doing 130, but you are. And it will get you up to the 130 so quickly. The Model X comes with air suspension, which means that the ride quality is very good. I would say this is almost as good as Mercedes-Benz S-Class air suspension. Of course, this being an electric car, it's quiet inside, and it's smooth, it's stable, and it's heavy, and it's four-wheel drive. I put almost 200 kilometers on this car, and I've driven this car hard, and I can tell you that this car is very stable. I've never ever lost control of this car, even though I push it hard and accelerate hard and I go into corners. It's 4-wheel drive and it's heavy. It has low center of gravity, so I'm always in control. And it's stable, it's smooth. Really, the only thing I don't like is this yoke. But even this, I can probably get used to. So now let's compare the Tesla Model X long-range version versus VinFast VF9. I have never driven the VF9. I've seen it in person, but I have never driven it, so I can't really make a good comparison between the two. It would not be fair. Plus, this car is actually $120,000. I'm talking about US dollars, and the VinFast VF9 is a lot cheaper at around $60,000 approximately. Actually, at this time, I don't think anybody knows how much VinFast is going to charge the VF9 in the United States. So this car is double the price of VinFast VF9, and I have not driven the VF9. So between the Tesla Model X long range, this car, and the VinFast VF9, which car would I buy? Well, if money is no object, if I have unlimited amount of money and I live in the US or Canada, of course it's going to be the Tesla Model X. In fact, it will be the high performance version for me. That will be the car that I buy. The reasons are, this is a high performance car. It gives you adequate range, and everything about this car is very high tech. We haven't even tried the fully automated driving mode yet. There are a lot of features we haven't tried yet, and that's equipped with this car. So if money is no object, this is the car that I would purchase. And one more reason, in Canada and the United States, Tesla has a very good network of supercharging stations. So it doesn't matter wherever I go, I will be covered. I'll be able to find a supercharger like I did today. I just have to plug in and then it will charge very fast, very quickly, and then I can get on my way. But if I have to take money into consideration, then I would have to say I will pick VinFast VF9 because it is half of the price. It does not have all the cool toys this car has, but the VinFast VF9 is an electric car and it has really good features and it has adequate range. We don't know yet because we haven't tested it yet. And performance wise, it's pretty good. So in terms of value for money, VinFast VF9 is the way I would go. And if I were to purchase a car in Vietnam, definitely it's going to be VinFast VF9. Because in Vietnam, VinFast has the best charging station network there. And you want to go with the car company with the best charging network. So in summary, if I'm in United States or Canada and money is no object, of course I would get the Model X and I would get the Plaid version. And if I have to consider money, then I would get the VinFast VF9. And in Vietnam, definitely it's going to be the VinFast VF9 because you can't really get the Model X there anyways. I just want to show you how fast this car accelerates. You just press your pedal down and it will just go. And I'm already at 160, which is probably illegal. So let's slow down. This car is fucking insane. It accelerates so hard. 0 to 100 km/h in 3.6 seconds for the long range version. But if you're driving a Plaid model, then that will be 2.6 seconds. And that's really crazy. I can truly say this is probably the only car that can go to 100 km/h under 4 seconds that I'm not scared to drive, because I can press the pedal down and I don't feel scared. I cannot say that about any of my other cars, but this one I can actually feel very confident in putting the power down. So my final thoughts on Model X long range versus VinFast VF9. And first of all, I'm actually at the Petronas Twin Towers here in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So there it is, the Twin Towers right there. Back to the point. Which car is better? First of all, it is not really a fair comparison, all right? Because the Model X long range is $180,000 Canadian, or probably around $150,000 US dollars. And the VinFast VF9 is probably at half price. We don't actually really know the pricing for the VF9, but let's assume it's at half price. So it's definitely not a fair comparison, all right? So exterior, both cars look cool. I love them both. Both get a point. Interior, I gotta say, both are pretty cool. Both get a point. Performance definitely goes to the Model X. Comfort and ride quality, well, I can't really say much for the VF9 since I have not driven or ridden in it, but I can tell you the Model X is pretty cool. And judging by my past experience with VinFast cars, I think that point has to be given to the Model X long range. What about after sales service? Well, Tesla has an established network in North America and the world, and they also have the Tesla supercharging network, going for them. So definitely that point has to go to the Tesla. It's just gonna be so much easier to charge a Tesla than say a VinFast VF9 in North America. So final thought here. If you have all the money in the world and you don't give a shit and you don't care about the cost of things, go for the Model X long range or even the Plaid version. That's a great car. You can't get a car better than that, in my opinion, all right? But if money is an object for you, I think VinFast VF9 is still a value proposition. So if you have the money, go for the Model X. If you're looking for value, look into the VF9, all right? Take some fucking action. And hailing from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, don't be a fucktard.